We're good to go.
Oh, wow. Okay. That really did happen.
Yeah, it's annoying as hell. Thank you, Zoom, for the introduction that we're actually recording because I can't read on the buttons. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Witching Hour. I'm your host, John Roycelyn, is also with me this evening, Cory Cawley. Deanne.
Deanne.
Deanne. I've
Yeah.
never seen it written quite like that, and I questioned it, and I almost wasn't even going to say it, and I blurted it out, and I'm sorry.
Well, there's a funny story behind that. If it's a quick story,
Sure.
if you want to tell it. My
Sure.
dad's name is his legal name is Aubrey Dean Cowley. So my mom decided, okay, well, let's feminize it and turn it into Deanne. So it's spelled D-E capital A.
Capital A, right. I
Yeah.
know I did
So
notice that, and I,
yeah.
I I like that. I really do.
Yeah.
So we've got Cory Cawley, head of CDC Works official. Now you are model, actress, author,
Yes.
special effects makeup
Yes.
professionally. I'm going to assume.
Yeah, I'll be kind to myself and say professional in this case.
Okay. Well, so for the folks that are not familiar with CDC Works, my God, you've got to check out these pictures of hell that this woman puts herself through and projects. They are, well, all right. So the images that you saw leading into the show, every picture is of Cory, and they are all there on CDC Works. Um, oh my God, there are so many definitions that I could give to you. Hell, purgatory, erotic, provocative, um, uh, shit. I mean,
Decrepit,
what's
decrepit, rotting.
decrepit? So, where did all this come from?
Uh, okay, so I started off my origins are in writing. I started off as a writer, and so before I got into special effects and before I got into makeup and acting and all that, I've had an affinity for horror.
Mhm.
My mom, whether it's good parenting or bad parenting, introduced me to Hellraiser when I was 3 years old. And I remember I saw Hellraiser and I saw Frank's resurrection sequence, and I was just absolutely captivated at 3 years old.
I already love your mom.
Yeah, yeah. Funny enough, she showed my niece Hellbound. That was her
Mm,
first movie.
okay.
So, um, so basically, I got into writing, and when I was a kid, I would write poetry. And my first story that I had ever written that had to do with horror was about this guy who used to kill people with rakes.
Wow, with
Yeah.
rakes.
Yeah, with rakes. I called him Rake Man.
Original too. Look at you. All
Yeah.
right. All right. That's great.
Yeah. So from writing, it kind of turned into just special effects, makeup, acting. I mean, I've kind of dabbled in all of it, but it really, I think, reached a pinnacle, I'd say about 2 years ago, I
Mhm.
want to say.
So what's your passion? I mean, because I know of all the things that you do, what is if you had to decide, someone were to say, all right, Cory, this is it, pick one. You can either take your photography, your pictures, you can continue writing, you can move out into the film. What would you choose? What makes you happiest?
Oh man, that's a tough question because they all kind of coincide. But if I have to pick one,
I mean, it's hard to juggle all of it,
it is.
all of your passions, which coincidentally I think is so ironic and so awesome that you've been able to tie all of them loosely together.
Well, interestingly enough, a lot of the books well, I've only published two books, but and I'll go back to your question. Sorry, I
No,
didn't
you're
mean.
fine. Please.
Um, a lot of the characters and things that I write about, it kind of mirrors what I portray in actuality. Little fun fact there. Not literal to the T, but I just I feel in a lot of ways that writing for me anyways is easier almost than acting or special effects or makeup because in writing, it's just you, a pen or a keyboard and your brain, and you can pretty much put whatever you want there. I mean, there's no limit. You don't
Right.
have any limitations. The only limitation you really have is just your creative input. But I mean, I've written I feel some of my best work just by just thinking of what just no limitations, no censorship, nothing. And it's brilliant and I love it. And I love writing. I don't know. See now to answer your question, I'm thinking
You're
would
gonna
I
hate me at the end of this, aren't you?
well no, now I'm thinking, would it be writing or would it be damn, that's a
See,
good
you're
one.
gonna be knee deep in writing, and you're gonna slam the pen down, and say, "God damn it, John," as you walk out the door to go to a photo shoot, on your way
Yeah,
to a concert, motherfucker,
I
cussing
know.
me the whole time.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think if I really truly had to, I think have one thing, I think I would continue writing. I do. I love writing.
Okay.
It's a shame that I can't do it as much anymore just because of, I am so immersed in my special effects and stuff. And I love it. If I could do it full time, I would do it full time, but
Right.
unfortunately I can't.
Right.
Um, but the reason why the books flowed so well and I was able to get them out is because I had the resources, number one, and number two, I had the time for it. And I wasn't so on the map as I am now, and I wouldn't even really consider myself on the map per se.
Mm,
But I just did I don't have the time now,
sure.
unfortunately. So,
I appreciate that. As we were talking ahead of time before we
yeah.
started the show,
Yeah.
life, like they say, life gets in the way, and it truly does.
Yeah.
That there's always someone standing behind you with a utility bill, with a rent, mortgage, car payment, just like this, saying, "Oh, you wanted to go have fun today? Yeah, pay me."
Yeah.
They don't care. No one
No.
cares.
Fuck you, pay me.
Fuck you, pay me, and I sunk as low as saying, was it a month, 2 months ago? The Powerball Mega Millions, whatever, was over $1 billion. It was the highest it ever been.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? That's worth $10. And I
It's
lost $10. But what if I had won? But I didn't. So I now I'm out $10. So let me go back to that second job tonight to make that $10 back.
exactly
Thanks a lot.
exactly.
Right. Right.
Yeah. My
Well,
coworker had won $1,000 on a $50 scratch off. And I said, but why would you spend $50 on a scratch off? But then I'm thinking, well, to win $1,000.
right. Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
God knows $1,000 is $1,000. That's great.
I'll
But
take it.
think about how many $50 were spent to get to that one.
That
That's
also, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, your photography, gosh, you you do it so natural. You shit. You you turn into this, like, out of mind, out of body, that you're like a whole different person. You look so natural in these settings. The makeup, and you do all of your own makeup,
I
right?
do all of my own makeup.
Corn mold, corn mold.
Why not?
I, I saw that the other day, and I was like, what the fuck did she just say? Are you serious? Holy shit. It worked. Don't get me
It,
wrong. It worked.
well, again, like I said, do you remember Flesh Unicorn
Yeah.
with the
Yes.
unicorn?
Right. Yes.
It's sometimes these ideas come to me. I'll be sitting at my desk at work and I'll say to myself, how cool would it be to steal one of the cake toppers to a kid's cake and turn it into a flesh unicorn?
Right.
And that's what I did. And it's the same thing with Huitla Coche. I was doing makeup and I was like, wait a minute. What if I was corn mold? That's
So,
cool.
where do you do all this? I mean, do you have a studio? Do you have a basement? Do you have a backyard? A spare bedroom?
I have in our room, in Jim and I's room, we have it's smaller than my main bathroom, but that's usually where I have all my shit, on the counter and stuff. And I
Mhm.
feel bad for Jim because Jim has to kind of maneuver around all that stuff, but
We
that's
all
mainly, yeah.
we all do. Trust me. I know. I know.
So that's mainly where I apply everything. And I kind of just see, it's one of the biggest criticisms that I think I get from a lot of people is that I don't mix up my environments as much as I probably could and should. And I understand, I'm not against the fact that, people want to see different things, but, again, going back to time and money and just,
Sure.
especially after my accident, I didn't have that many options. And so I made the best with what I had. And I think that that's one of the things that people seem to kind of miss
Right. Of
is that, it's what you do with what you have.
course.
I think that says a lot more about you than if you had all these options out on the table.
Mhm.
So in a way, I kind of pride myself on knowing that I can create something in very limited space and it'll turn out okay.
Yeah, it's larger than life if you ask me, because those pictures are very, very powerful.
Thank you.
I first stumbled. I'm not gonna lie to you. I first stumbled across you. It was recent. Within the last, let's say, 3 to 4 months, probably. And,
Wow.
and I've been hooked every
Uh,
time. So every time I see something posted from CDC, I'm all over it, and I just go farther and farther and farther back through your photography, your timeline, and each picture tells its own story, and they are so. The quality of the picture is incredible. If you tell me that you're using your iPhone, I'm going to shit a brick and throw mine across the room, as opposed to, I don't know if you have a professional photographer or not, but the lighting, the makeup, the scenery, the setting, everything is just, to me, absolutely perfect.
well, I'm very flattered, John. Thank you. But
Oh, of course.
I have to sadly admit that I'm using my iPhone 13 Pro Max
Oh my
and
God. Wow.
a ring light,
And a
and
ring light.
sometimes just lighting. I just make do with what I have. That's it's so funny how people always tell me they're like, oh, you must have a studio, you must have assistants. No, it's me and Jim. And sometimes Jim has to, unfortunately, uh, have the role of taking, especially when I did the Marge Gutman cosplay with the worms in my mouth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He had the misfortune of basically taking that. And the whole time he was just like, oh, it's falling out. It's falling out.
Have you gotten any crap from anyone about the squid or octopus pictures? Do you
Every
ever?
day of my life.
I figured as much. I've got to admit, there's something about that one that almost turns my stomach. But I don't say that in a bad. And I'm not going to sit there and criticize you for it. But I assume that because there was something else brought into the picture, that you would get shit from somebody.
I think I get shit from a lot of people, and that's, you know,
It keeps you going though,
it's
too, doesn't it?
yeah, it keeps me going. It blows my mind though what people get offended over because when
Right.
I post the cephalopod shots, people were accusing me of the fact that I brought this live octopus home, which by the way, it was dead. I bought it from the fishmonger at Publix where I work.
Right.
Um, they're accusing me of bringing home a live octopus and killing it in my bathtub, which to me says more about people say they're not creative. How the
Right.
fuck can you come up with something like that?
I was going to say, just tell them, yeah, you drowned it, and then just turn around and walk away and see if they
Yeah,
believe you.
yeah.
Honestly. Now,
Well,
people are idiots. They are. People equal
well,
shit, just like it says.
well. It just kills me because I called a lot of people out on that. Before that, when I did birthing Antichrist, I used a sheep stomach. It was a combination. How many people listen to your podcast, by the way?
How many? Not nearly enough, and I'm hoping to change that after they hit
Okay,
your following. Trust me.
okay, because I'm gonna be 100% honest. So,
Please, please.
birthing Antichrist. I don't know if you knew, but it was a mixture of a sheep stomach, a tampon that I pulled out of my vagina, fresh, right there.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, and I had Jim kind of like help me put black paint all over my leg, and I was just squeezing out period blood everywhere. And I used a mixture of oatmeal and just put black paint in it. And so I said to myself, you guys are going to get upset over an octopus, but you're not going to get upset over a sheep's stomach. But when I did the pig head, oh,
Right.
that pissed so many people off.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
I appreciate the honesty right there. I really do. A little bit
Well,
of behind the scenes magic right there for you folks.
it's just, I think people have a hard time understanding, why I do what I do. And I do what I do first and foremost because I love it.
Good.
And I know what I do is not going to be liked by everybody. And I understand that. And I don't hold it against people for not liking what I like because it is a very, you have to, I feel like to really appreciate what I do, you have to have an appreciation for life and death and kind of all the little things in between.
Mhm.
And I have such a respect for death that it makes me appreciate life. And so, when people a lot of the times accuse me of being disgusting or too morbid or glorifying, um, God, what did somebody say? Well, in layman's terms, the reason why I focus so much on those subjects is to hopefully somewhere show the viewer, okay, life is cool. I like life
Mhm.
because I don't know. And I like gross things. I like repulsion. I like decay because in its own way, it's beautiful. And
Sure.
I just don't, I don't have a problem with it.
Well, I mean, you are, in a sense, with your photography, you are acting. You are
Yeah,
acting out these scenes. Okay. And if, the people are not going to give an actor shit for the role that they did in a movie, although sometimes they do,
yeah,
it's pretend. And people just don't understand, especially nowadays, where to draw the line, what's real and what's
right.
offensive to anybody. So, I mean, shit. Christ, I want your autograph on one of your T-shirts. I want to proudly support CDC.
I mean, I don't think I really don't think, in all honesty, I don't think I'm worthy of an autograph. I don't, shit, I don't even think I'm worthy of a fucking a podcast.
Have you ever considered doing a convention, a horror convention, as a vendor?
My mom has broke my ass over that. Yes, I have. I don't know if I could ever. I don't really know the process behind that, to be honest with you. But yes, I would love to do that.
I am going to try to help you find out locally in your tri-state area, okay, of shows. And I know enough people that'll help me locate ones for you, find out dates, contact information. You just get a hold of them and say, this is what I do. Here's some of my pictures. I got merchandise. You pay them for a table. They don't give a shit as long as they get paid. You make $1 million or you walk out of there broke, but you're going to
I
get your
mean,
name out there.
that would be great. It would be. It is. It's hard. It's hard, and I don't even mean it's hard because I'm a woman and all that shit. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I get really fucking sick and tired of people using their genders or their sex to basically like predicate their success and whatnot. And yes, it is sometimes a factor, but I'm going to be perfectly honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I'm not more successful than I am is because number one, I work for a shitty corporation. And number two, because I know what I do is not, I'm not going to glamorize my work be, so I can what be more popular. Fuck that.
Right, right. No, I get that. I do. I completely
Yeah.
understand where you're coming from. I do. But if this can help CDC and maybe in turn, you sell a half a dozen T-shirts while you're there, some of your autographed glossies or framed, whatever. Okay, now you've got a couple extra dollars to be able to roll back into
Yeah.
CDC or even Hellcat Pictures, which I'm assuming is kind of tied together, maybe.
So Hellcat is my best friend Nuvis, who is coincidentally the lead singer of the death metal band Amenorrhea.
Okay.
Um, so Hellcat is something that her and I kind of started. Because when I was living in South Florida, her and I always used to do stuff together, and we used to always do music videos, and I'd always be cast as the main lead and stuff. And so, we just kind of decided to do Hellcat on the side in conjunction with what I do. And you know, I think that considering we're a little small outfit, we have some really interesting videos.
Yes.
Fatal Smut was the beginning of a very, very
I think I stumbled across that one on a Disney Channel late the other night, as a matter of fact. Just the title alone caught me.
yeah, Fatal Smut was a good one. That one I found out the hard way that mealworms bite really hard. So
Live and learn, I guess, right?
yeah, So and actually we just did the last video I did with her was a failed exorcism by denial of death, and that's where I gave birth to the octopus, which
Nice.
it really was an octopus, and I really did throw a vagina octopus on my partner's face.
Gotta love it.
Yep.
Oh, that poor man. So tell us a little bit then about the Virginia bitches. I'm
Oh man,
so I look at this online. I'm following the page, but there's not a whole lot to go by.
you're not going to get a lot, and that's mainly because Scott, the director. I first met Scott 2 years ago. We shot the Veil of Nath music video, which is still not out yet. I
Mhm.
don't know why. Um, I met him there, and he says to me after shooting, he's like, "Hey, I got a movie that I'd like you to be part of, and I'm like, okay, that's fine with me." So Virginia Bitches is basically it's it's going to be a really fun movie. So don't go into it thinking you're watching, Schindler's List or The Godfather, which, you know,
Right.
uh, so it's about a bunch of it's like a female rock band who fights these vampires and necromancers. I can't really say too much about my character, even though I'm not under NDA. It's just I know who I'm gonna play. Scott has sent me the info. I know what I'm gonna look like, and I swear to God, it is. If I can tell you in private, but you're gonna say,
Okay.
"Jesus Christ, Corey, what the fuck is wrong with you?"
So we are still in early pre-production then.
We're very much in early pre-production, but Scott
Okay.
has shot a lot of B-roll footage so
Okay.
far.
Okay.
Um, I think I want to say that we're going to start filming late April into May. So,
And is this down there where you're at?
probably Atlanta. That's where
Okay.
Digital Thunderdome is based out of, and that's kind of Scott's his little business he does. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So sadly enough, here on Zoom, they have just given me a little pop-up letting me know that I have got right about now, we're down to about 5 minutes left.
Holy
On,
shit.
I know time has definitely flown by, and I would definitely like to continue this, perhaps in another
Okay.
follow-up interview at some point soon. I would love to go do
Yeah.
that. Um, Psychotic barbaric murder is something I saw, I think, on one of your t-shirts. Is
Yes.
that correct? I absolutely love
Yeah.
that, and that sums it up so well too. But in closing, plug whatever you've got, please. Merchandise, where people can get a hold of you, um, get merchandise, social media, anything. Throw it all out
Uh,
there for me.
my official website is www.officialcorycawley.com. Um, my Instagram is, I mean, I'd rather not spell it because it's just a clusterfuck. So I'll just say it. But if you go on my website, you can see all my socials. But my Instagram is Folium Discognitum 2 because I'm an Elder Scrolls fan till I die, which is where I got that name from. Uh, and my Facebook is CDC Works Official, which is right now where I'm focusing most of my attention because Instagram likes to ban me every 2 days. So
Yeah. Well, Instagram, Facebook are all, all the same Bible right now. So unfortunately, but I will definitely be posting as many of your links as I can with the video. You'll be able to find this on YouTube and Facebook, and
All the
I'll also be ripping the audio from this and putting it on the audio podcast as well. So definitely get out there, boys and girls. CDC Works official. Cory Cowley, I cannot thank you enough. You are the actual first of this part of the realm, and I'm honored to have had you on the show. I think you're an amazing model. Everything that you've done so far, I think, is phenomenal. I truly wish you the best, and I am going to be helping you out, get some information for some conventions. What you do with it from that point is all up to you.
Well, more than all that, I'm honestly, thank you for putting me on here, and thank you for kind of forcing me out of my shell and just kind of having me on here. And I definitely want to do a part 2 with you, because this was too much fun.
Part 2 will be coming up. I promise you that.
For sure.
Maybe in the next couple of weeks, we'll sit back down, get caught up on what you might have done by that time.
Yeah, I'll tell you in the messages what I'm going to be. And yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. Please, by all means. It's Scott, right? Okay, tell Scott I'm definitely interested. If he wants to actually join you on an interview, we could definitely make that happen as well.
God. All right.
Boys and girls, thank you for joining me. John Roycelyn here on the Witching Hour podcast. Be sure to look up CDC Works official, because everyone's on goddamn Facebook nowadays. So enjoy it. Thank you for joining the Witching Hour podcast, and remember to always keep it evil.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. So we are officially done. That is it. I want to thank you for everything.
Yeah, man.